morning, people. It's actually not morning at all, but hello, whatever the term is in your way of speaking. And for me, this is very impromptu. What do I need to do? Make sure my blender is dry. That's one of the things we're gonna do. We just did the first thing we have to do. Oh yeah, I don't have the mic scraping against the chain this time. Am I out of frame? Should I just crouch like this the whole time? Yeah, sounds like a good idea. My name is Suki, by the way, Suki Kismet. We're gonna be making chips and salsa. We got a big bag of however many pounds this is. Talking about the track. What is it even called? Welcome to the house. Welcome to the house. Please wait or something. Wait. Welcome to the house, everybody. The intro has sucked up until now. Had to get my cup of joe. We're gonna be talking about track 2 on the album, which you haven't heard it. What the fuck are you doing with your life? We're gonna be talking about that one because that one's a very, very unique track. I actually forgot to re-listen to it. I don't know if this is a regulation, standard practice. Actually, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get this trash out. It's getting a little. Can you see that? It's getting a little moldy at the crater. I don't know. Unfortunately, wish I could have used fresher ingredients. Not really that unfortunate because I was in complete and total control. I just forgot. Welcome to the house, take 3. We're gonna be talking about Welcome to the House, Please Wait, the second track on the, sorry, it's actually Please Wait. The only one of the 14 tracks whose sole producer was yours truly. The production on that song is nothing crazy. Wish you could really, I mean, you could see if I angled myself better. It's moments like these, whenever I see these videos, it's me cooking and I'm like, wow, this guy looks like an amateur. I don't know, maybe I think it's probably just because I'm talking at the same time as I'm trying to do all this stuff, and like, I'm not fucking Gordon Ramsay or, you know, Bourdain, where I've been doing this for 40 years and it's like muscle memory. I don't have those years under me or beneath me here. Shut up. But yeah, oftentimes I'll watch myself and I'm like, dude, this guy's knife skills are ass. Oh my god, Sharpie. There's a point in the last video that I actually edited it out because I was like, man, oh, yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about, being careful. I just sliced through. Make sure you're being, oh my god, I did it again. Oops. I haven't cut myself yet, though. I just look like an amateur. The first shot of the last video was me, like, sharpening the knife. At least the amount of tomatillo, just the pure poundage we have here will make up for all these little tips that we're cutting out. We're cutting tips right now. Yeah, the first 2, once again, taking me three takes to get to my point. First shot is me sharpening a knife, and then like the first time I'm cutting an onion, I'm like, so like clearly I don't know, it seems like I didn't sharpen it very well. Maybe I edited it weird, but like just the way it read before I got to it, it was like, I sharpen it and then my knife is dull. Like I said, production is nothing crazy. I did definitely have to do some work with it. This is one that, like, you know, the early demo, but I definitely had to figure it out. The early iterations of the song, like I remember Joe Break playing these songs, or please playing this one for Azriel Bovin, aka 43Z, on The Final Feast and Burns and Blisters. It was definitely in a rough stage at that point, and I remember like him like devoting to it, but it was a lot of the musicality, which is what I liked about it, just very not abstract, but like not even really complicated, but just like there's just a lot going on. There's a lot of different layers of, I just love things like that, especially with this type of song where it's never ever thought about rapping on it. So obviously, not really that obvious until I explain it. We're making chips and salsa. Like, maybe it is all obvious if you listen to the album, like you should have. That's one of the few ones where, dude, I'm like completely out of frame. Crazy. Maybe I'll just like, oh my goodness. Okay. So in case someone comes in and murders me, y'all have a good view. Coming right after Kiss the Cook. You know, the Kiss the Cook's more of like, it's kind of like the trailer almost to this sort of world. And this is an album where, in my view, I don't want to say that's the only one that counts because it's my album, and because your interpretation is just as important. But having said that, my idea was like, I wanted it to feel like a real restaurant. Pop these these bitches in the oven. So I kind of got caught up in conversation outside, and I let the tomatillos, actually they're perfect. I just wish I was attending to them so that I could have started on this earlier, but I'm gonna put one small morita, a little second one, crack open these awesome saucy. Why am I scratching my hair? I got sidetracked by conversation outside, so I stopped, interrupted mid-conversation. I was like, let me check on those vegetables. And they're kind of perfect, but I do wish I had been watching them at the time so I could have been preparing the rest on time. But, you know, life. I really went back in the footage just to remember what I was talking about, and it was so stupid. I'm making chips and salsa because going back to the idea of this being like you know, this is you waiting, you haven't ordered, you haven't eaten yet. There's vocal samples throughout the album, and earlier iterations of this song, that was mostly just on this track. Azrael definitely, you know, helped shape this song for Shizly. Always wanted to say that. Because, yeah, through the iterations and being like, you know, just kind of advising me if this is a song that's meant to be like short, keep it short. That's probably the chili's tortillas gone. Probably gonna need more oil to fry up all these tortillas. Oh yes. So yeah, a lot of those vocal samples were mostly on this song, and then I spread some of them out, and so the ones that I ended up keeping on this one were like, I just felt a little bit more kind of setting up the album, while the other ones, those ones are a little bit more explicitly related to a particular song that it's next to, kind of like a segue into that. And so obviously this is, you know, the true intro of the album, so it's kind of like the exposition. So most of them I used as well, like the Chef Jean-Pierre, the recipe for vichyssoise that I used when I made it for the first time after, I'm gonna get in frame, after reading it in Bourdain's book, and I wanted to try it out. We're rolling. My storage ran out, and I tried to transfer all of the footage I had gotten up to that point over to my computer, over to my laptop, so I could keep recording, and that didn't work, so I just scrubbed a bunch of footage and all. We're gonna put all this stuff in the... Actually, we're gonna need to clean this blender, because nothing in this kitchen is ever fucking clean. What I was saying before the silly phone cut me off was Chef JJ, Mohammed Musa Omani chefs, also sampled twice throughout the record, once in English as on this track, and then on Arabic, in Arabic. Though I don't think I've used either of those recipes, but I enjoyed seeing them both. Dude, what am I saying? Yeah, who else is on the song? Do I need to listen to it again? I mean, I'm on it. Yeah, I think I've already mentioned the part on the first part where they say like, yeah, this is my favorite place in town. That part was directed, and I wanted to have someone say that. But then I was like, you know, I kind of want you to just go ahead, freestyle, river of thought, stream of thought. Yeah, they were just basically describing a soup that they made, and I was like, okay, that's great. They just started talking about it, and without my direction, said like the perfect line about taking your time. What did they even say?
I really like that you can tell that this person's taking their time caramelizing onions. It's really hard, and sometimes you just want to crank up that heat just to get it to where it needs to be, but honestly, you take your time.
Sample at the very beginning from Beef Rat, or, you know, not from that, but also sampled in Beef Rat. That's where I heard about it. Those who know me know that this was clearly an inspiration, even if it was one among many. Getting some of that like sugary, golden, gooey pause stuff. That's why I like to do it up until the tomatillo kind of breaks, because then you lose all your juices. And you know, I personally believe that, you know, kings and queens, you gotta get this heat up on the old chips, almost on the fire on those. Maybe get a little bit more of this goop, oily, sugary vegetable goop. Y'all know the vibes. It's nature's honey. Get the fuck out of the way. Okay. Baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. Boom, boom, boom. Still kind of need these. Pretty sure I've talked about everything.
but honestly, you take your time. And sometimes it takes
Yeah.
but
Boom, boom, boom. Fuck it. We lived for today. We're just gonna jump in it. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, oh yeah. I put the top of the blender in the sink. So just washing it, drying it real quick. That's why you don't work in the kitchen with. I'm working with myself, for the record. Fuck ton of salt, or healthy amount to taste. Still letting that bowl heat up. Wish I had some chips already going, but what did you say? Again, are a nice color. You can actually see that. You can actually, this is one of the few things you can never see when I'm cutting. You actually probably can see this. That actually looks really good. That actually looks really good.
you can tell that this person's taking their time caramelizing onions. It's really hard, and sometimes you just want to crank up that heat just to get it to where it needs to be. But honestly, you take your time, and sometimes it takes longer. But I can come.
I also, if any, but also, wow, I'm a terrible actor. But also, of course, if there are any questions that remain unanswered out there, but also, of course, if there are any questions that remain unanswered out there, you can always ask. The first time I had caramelized onions, it blew my freaking mind. I'm hoping you recognize my voice is also on there. It was like my not so subtle way of like highlight the characters of the album, like the Michelin Man, the chef, the cook, sommelier, the bane of the sommelier, pâtissier. That's a good one. The traveler. Gotta start somewhere. We're only going up. It's the only way to go. Soaring high. Yeah, I'm wearing a different shirt. Anyway, thanks for watching. And if there's any particular song that you want to get verified, so to speak, broken down a little bit, director's commentary, that type of thing. Oh my, keep moving the camera. Alright, I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop myself. Thank you for watching. See you next time.